Okay, so we're going to calculate the internal rate of return for project B in our example. So I'm going to make a timeline for this. So we have 10,000 over here at 0.0. So the space is less. Wait, let me open a note. Okay, so we have 10,000 over here. Then at year 1 we have 500. Then year 2 500. Year 3 4,600. And in year 4 we have 10,000. So let me just check that I got all of this right. Yep. Okay, so the WACC over here, or the required rate of return, the cost of capital over here, we will assume is 10%. Okay, so I'm going to calculate the NPV one time at the 8% rate and another time at the 12% rate. So first let's do it for the 8% rate. So the Npv formula is present value of inflows minus the initial outlays. So the present value of inflows will be 500, and we're going to use the 8% rate first. So 1 plus 0.08 power 1. I'm going to simply add this, so this will be 1.08 and power 2. Power 3 and 10,000. And subtract this by the initial outlay. So I'm going to erase this. The initial outlay is 10,000. So if you solve this, the present value of inflows is coming 11893.54. Minus this by 10,000. The NPV is 1893.54. This is your NPV at the 8% rate. Now we're going to do the same thing at the 12% rate. So we decided the 12% rate. Again, I've taken one rate which is below this and one rate which is above this. So at the 12% rate, our cash flows will be the same, but only the interest rate will change. So 1 plus 0.12. Power 4 minus 10,000. So over here, the present value of inflows is coming to maximize this. So it's coming out to be 10,474.39, and subtract 10,000 from this. So you get 474.39. So at the 12% rate, this is your NPV. 8% we got this and 12% we got this. Now we can use the approximation formula. So the IRR approximation formula is so now we'll plug in the values. R1. So the first rate that we took was 8%. So this is 8%. Plus NPV1. So the NPV we got at this rate, and the higher NPV is 1893.54. So 1893.54. Multiply it by R2 minus 1. So R2 is 12% minus 8%. And then divide this by NPV1 minus NPV2. So 1893.54 minus 474.39. So if you solve this, the answer is coming 13.33%. So this is the approximate total return that you will get from the project. And the actual answer for this is 13.5%. So you can see again the approximation method is quite close. Now similarly, you can do it for the other project as well. I'm not doing it. You can do the same thing for project A. Your answer should come close to 14.96%, as that is the internal rate of return. So for project B, the answer was 13.33%. So we'll use the approximate one. Now, if the cost of capital, okay, so if the cost of capital is 10%, then which one should be selected? First thing is that you need to see that both of them should be greater than your cost of capital for it to be in the criteria. So if it's independent, both can be selected because both are greater than 10%. Internal rate of return cost of capital से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए. So ये 13.33 है, it's giving a higher return, cost 10% है. दूसरे प्रोजेक्ट की भी रिटर्न 14.96 है और कॉस्ट 10% है. So if it's independent, A and B both can be selected, but if it's mutually exclusive, then the one with the higher internal rate of return will be accepted. So project A will be accepted in that case. जितना ज़्यादा profit होगा उतनी अच्छी बात है. Now again, do not make this mistake if the cost of capital is 10%, and for example, if you're evaluating two projects and one internal rate of return is coming 8% and the other is coming 6%, and if the question is independent, which should be selected? None should be selected because both are less than 10%. And even if the question is mutually exclusive, which one should be selected? Again, both will not be selected because it has to be greater than 10% for it to go into the criteria. Do not select 8% at that time. Okay, so I'll discuss this later on.